The state of Florida was well represented as Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez spoke last night at the Republican convention.
Joining us now is Jim DeFede, host of Facing South Florida. And Jim, you spoke to Lieutenant Governor Nunez, who was given a prominent role.
She was given a very prominent role, along with Pam Bondi, the former Attorney General for the state of Florida. But Jeanette Nunez went out there with really a mission, I think, to one, appeal to women, to appeal to Hispanics, talk about immigration, and to sort of raise the issue of socialism. You're hearing this time and time again about how Biden is part of the socialist takeover of the country, and Jeanette Nunez, speaking from experience down here in South Florida, raised those issues. But one of the things that has come up since Jeanette Nunez spoke is the fact that in 2016, if you remember, she was an ardent supporter of Marco Rubio. At the time, she tweeted that Donald Trump was a con man, that he was anti-Israel, and that he was a supporter of the KKK. So one of the things I wanted to see was, well, what brought her around to her thinking today versus 4 years ago? Let's play that sound.
Your evolution on Donald Trump, how you went from believing him to be a con man who supported white supremacists to advocating for him now at his convention.
Sure. And Jim, you know, I think better than most that politics is the contact sport. In 2016, I was diligently supporting Marco Rubio in his quest for the presidency. Marco's been a close personal friend of me and my family's for a long time. You know, in the heat of the moment, you say things. Certainly, it was probably ill-advised to tweet that, and that's not reflective of what I think today. Of course, the president, I think, has done a phenomenal job in making sure that he had this economy on track. If you look at his accomplishments really over the course of the past 3.5 years, I think that, you know, his legacy with regards to our economy, his legacy with regards to ensuring that our military is well funded, our veterans are well cared for, all of those things combined, I think, speak volumes to the president. And I think that's why I'm so strongly supportive of him this time around.
Jim, what are your thoughts about the Republicans making immigration a major theme last night?
It was somewhat stunning. You know, there was an Immigration Naturalization Service ceremony. You had Jeanette Nunez speak. The day before, you had Maximo Alvarez speak, who came over on Pedro Pan. You know, there's almost a bit of a disconnect here, because if you think about it, think about Maximo Alvarez and his story. When he came over to the United States as part of Operation Pedro Pan, he's now advocating for the president, talking about the opportunity he was given as a child to grow in America. This at the same time that he's recommending a president who was part of child separation at the borders, who probably would not support an operation like Operation Pedro Pan. You saw the immigration ceremony. Donald Trump has not only come out against illegal immigration, but he's tried to highly restrict even legal immigration. And then on the issue of Venezuela and TPS status, he opposes temporary protective status for Venezuelans, you know, an issue that Jeanette Nunez strongly advocates for. He opposes DACA. You know, has tried to strip it from the courts, but more importantly, since the court finding, has said that no new person can apply for DACA protections under his administration. Again, an area where he breaks with Jeanette Nunez, and yet you didn't hear any of that. So there's a little bit of a disconnect in terms of trying to paint yourself as a pro-immigrant president, given the policies we've seen over the last 3.5 years.
All right, Jim DeFede, thanks so much for your insight on yesterday. A big heavy focus on immigration. We're expecting to hear more tonight, specifically about the military and from Vice President Pence. Thanks so much, Jim.